Welcome to Toucan Rant. We're just two toucans with two tall cans who can rant because we got two tall cans. We doing the other part?
No.
No? Because I actually do think I got it mostly.
I don't remember that part.
You've never remembered that part.
Nope.
You were so jazzed to write it.
Wrote it drunk.
So yeah, we've been off for...
You did not introduce yourself at all, though. You didn't say, hey, this is JD, and I'm Jeremy, who just drank an incredibly warm beer that I have not had a beer that warm in a long, long time. I think I need to move the case of beer from the top of the steps
to the bottom.
To the bottom of the steps. We're out of winter mode, which is good. But yeah, with that, we have not fucking done shit in a long time.
Yeah, that's 4 months, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had my hiatus there of not wanting to do anything, and then this whole COVID shit happened. And then I was in full lockdown mode. You came and picked up Mario Kart, and I would not let you in my house.
No, and then you gave me a lighter and said you didn't want it back.
Yep, I did that too.
Kept your fingers very far away.
I went full-blown panic mode there for a bit, and now I'm saying, fuck it. I got nothing to lose.
Yeah, fuck it, because it's all over already. That's what the world thinks.
Well, I mean,
It's
there for
great.
a while when the riots and protests were happening, you didn't hear shit about COVID. Now
No, it
there's
was
nothing
still-
to talk about.
No, it was still there.
So now it's back.
YouTube's always got little COVID updates, like a live stream constantly going. It's on the news.
Yeah,
Ish.
see, here's the thing.
Get
You're
articles
on
about it.
YouTube. I'm not.
Well, it's on the news. I see it when I walk into the hotel.
You watch the news.
I don't watch it.
I avoid the news.
I just see it.
Excuse me. I just look at what affects me.
It's
Can I go get my foods that I want?
CBR still has it.
I haven't looked at CBR in months.
IGN.
Haven't looked at that in months.
You just sent me a link from there.
Oh, that was from Bleeding Cool. If you really want to get to... Oh, no. I did send you the one from IGN.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Fucking
I just see links on Facebook, and I'm like, click, skim it. JD will read it and tell me how wrong I am. I'll get the gist of it without having to waste my time reading it while I can read more books. I kid you not. That is my thing.
That
like
makes
the
sense.
Warren Ellis thing this morning. I'm like, well, that's fucked up. Here's an article about it. Yep, that's fucked up. I'm going to send that to JD, say I'm pissed off about it. He'll tell me how wrong I am and everything I missed. All the deeds. He'll do the research. I'm going to work. Well, today it was work. But normally, like, when I send you that shit, I'm, like, knee-deep in Dresden Files lately or whatever my choice of reading material is. But I've done it before, and I'll do it again.
It's all a fucking con. So that's what I am, folks. The news. The news anchor.
Yeah, I mean, you feed it to me straight. Had I talked to you about COVID, I probably wouldn't have put my house in lockdown. Maybe I should have relied on you.
No, you might have been doing worse than that from what I was reading. From what I was reading, you were supposed to like stock up on a shit ton of food. Getting guns might have been good. Getting as many masks as you could.
We didn't get guns.
Toilet paper wasn't necessary.
Didn't get toilet paper. My mom makes masks, so I was good there. Guns, didn't get any guns. Got some. I already said that. We did get some food. We did stock up a little bit on food. And
Dang,
guess
you ate
what?
it all.
No, it's still there.
Oh,
I have beans that I will probably not eat and throw away when they are expired. I have
I'll just remember
noodles and all sorts of shit. And then the best part is Steph comes home with a whole fucking box of food from Johnsonville. And then I realized we have canned foods that have expired in 2017. And I'm like, well, this is going to look bad because I'm going to walk out with all this food and throw it in the garbage because I don't even feel comfortable giving it to the food pantry. I'm going to look like a jackass.
Well, yeah, I think that happens a lot to people. They just have food that goes to waste.
I had nowhere to put the food we got, so I was forced to clean out. And, dude, there was a packet of tuna that expired in 2018. I kind of wanted to open it, and then I thought,
Ugh.
that's tuna? That would be a really bad idea. Like, just weird, fucked up shit. I had open bags of pretzels in my drawer that were expired. Who knew that those would expire? They probably don't, but I'm like looking at the date. I'm like, well, I'm going to chuck that. It's probably fucking stale as fuck anyway. All I got is a little clothespin keeping the bag shut.
Dude, I've seen stuff in fridges like 2015.
Oh, I'm sure I have some condiments that way. I'm cool with
Yeah,
condiments. Condiments, fuck it. You run the risk. You get the shits, you throw it away. You can usually narrow that one down a little bit, as long as it doesn't have dairy in it. I get a little weird about dairy, like even milk. Like, I'm like, day passed. And I know you got like a good 7 days past, but I'm like,
No, fuck that. No, you don't.
No?
Like, well, maybe you do. Every time I've gotten milk, that's a day after, and I've, like 3 times, every time I've just puked it right back up.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had some milk once that wasn't even expired and like solidified in our fridge, and it was not frozen. It was like a jelly.
Oh, god damn it. Okay. No talk about milk. Milk, that's like, just thinking about it's a thing that makes me want to puke.
I don't really drink milk, so
No, milk is like my go-to drink.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I've watched you chug a lot of glasses of milk. Done skating, go back to your house. Can I get a glass of water? Yeah, sure. There's the sink. And you just go drink a fucking tall glass of milk. And I'm like, dude, it's fucking, like, I would not want to put milk in my sweaty body at this point.
Oh, no, fuck. Milk is energy.
No, I get it, man. I get it. So, we've glossed over a lot of shit, but a lot of shit has happened. One being, we probably couldn't have really done Toucan Rant for a couple of months anyway, because there was like nothing coming out.
Nah, well, we don't necessarily do everything that's coming out.
That's true.
All the good stuff's
That's
in
true.
the past.
I'm just saying, like, as far as, you know, we have the whole no comics coming out for a while. Then DC starts releasing under their own thing. And then we got now DC left Diamond, which has a lot of people up in arms. I don't know how much we want to talk about that, but it's a thing that happened.
It's relevant to a degree.
So what do you think?
I think it is going to be a good decision in the long run. I don't really know all of the ins and outs, but you have to, a lot of people have been complaining about a system being a monopoly, and it's only not being designated a monopoly by the United States government because it doesn't have exclusive rights on all books. It's just comic books, which is the weird nuance in the law, because comic books are separate and they don't fall into that same category, so they're able to like escape by the system with that. Even though when Diamond decides they're gonna shut down, there are suddenly no comics being distributed because it isn't a monopoly.
I don't really disagree with them shutting down. I understand the aspects of it. It wasn't like a, what do you want to call it? Like a very necessary industry that kept going. What do you, essential. You're not, it wasn't as, like Hollywood shut down. Like, they don't need to be releasing movies because we shouldn't be in the theaters anyways. You know, they're not releasing comics. Granted, you can get comics without ever walking in anywhere. You can get them delivered to your house. You know, and, you know, obviously newspapers, they can go online. The comics industry could have gone digital and done codes. I mean, yeah, all that's been like...
They couldn't, because...
Whatever.
Diamond has a stranglehold on the market.
I agree with them looking out for their employees, trying to keep them safe, but at the same time I also agree with you, you know, having that stranglehold monopoly, which is weird because now that DC left, there's a lot of people up in arms and upset, but if you look back years, like, I've heard people complain about Diamond, about how they have them basically by the balls. They can do whatever they want. That's how their shit's being distributed. Yeah. And now that somebody's stepping out and doing something different, now it's like, oh well, now you're changing, you move my cheese.
Yeah, there's safety in the routine.
Yeah. Well,
which
I
is
get that.
which is maybe what the big deal is, because everything is so in so much chaos at the current moment that people just want to have that routine that they know how to do to have some sense of normalcy when things don't seem to ever be getting back to that state.
I get that, but I also think that Diamond still was running an archaic system and never updated it because they never had any competition. There's like, they put out those preview books, which I've never used one. I just, when I can pre-order something and it interests me, I buy it. Like, I don't know anything ahead of time. I might do a little bit of research before I buy it, but like, I don't look ahead that far. I'm not that kind of a person. But like, to not have that book, I mean, that's obviously saving this new distributor money. It also is moving forward with the times. You have this newer technology. It should make things easier, in my opinion.
See, I never actually got the previews books because I didn't understand having to pay for a preview of the books coming out, even if it was a digital copy.
Yeah.
That boggles my mind. Because I would probably read it front to back just to see what all was coming out, because there are a lot of good things that get swept under the radar because nobody publicizes them, even though they are the greatest thing that would come out.
And you always find out when it's too late.
And it's been canceled because it doesn't have enough readers, and then it
canceled, or you can't get the books because they stopped printing them or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the Dresden, the first omnibus, did I tell you that? It was like $80 to $100.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah. So
which is another thing that's fucked up with the whole advertising comics. I've been looking on CBR recently, and they've been saying that there are a bunch of indie books that are getting second reprints and third reprints because people want those books, which doesn't make sense, because if they were doing their job properly, if the whole system is about getting as many of these books out to people who want these books, there should not be a need for a second reprint, because everybody should know already about it.
Yeah, and that's a fair.
But then you
have people like me that don't pay attention to it and just go with, hey, this is coming out. Like, I don't look at trades or omnibuses or nothing. Like, I just look at the weekly comics.
No, but it's a fucked up system, because you know how many indie games, how many games in general everybody knows about? Not because because there are different people advertising those things.
True.
Like, if you are into the indie gaming scene, I'm sure for music too, and television for sure.
Yep.
Like, there are tons of ways to find out about new stuff, even if you get it like periphery. But we're into comics, and we read comics all the time, and we peruse the news sites, and yet we still miss these awesome fucking things that come out because nobody talks about them. It's very confusing.
Yeah, I agree. I was reading some, I don't remember what I was reading, but someone was talking about a comic book that came out on Avatar Press, which apparently is CBR's label. Did you know that?
No.
I did not know that either.
The fuck?
I think that relates to the Warren Ellis thing. I think I was reading that this morning, and they're like, yeah, he released a book on Avatar, which is CBR's comic label. And
Wait,
I'm like, what?
Wait, he was releasing a book on CBR who then writes a hit piece about him?
Well, the piece I read was on Bleeding Cool. I don't know. Did CBR?
No,
CBR did.
Everybody did.
Yeah. I mean,
they didn't mention that though in the CBR.
But see,
article.
that's just like these movie, like when the Me Too first happened. Like, these movie industry people are like, whoa, yeah, we're not cool with that guy. Yeah, we made like 12 movies with him, but no, we don't. No, that's not our guy anymore. Like, everybody fucking changes their tune when something bad happens.
Yeah. You probably don't care. The guy on the Flash on the CW, he got outed.
I saw that. I saw the writer of the Flash got that Williams. He got ousted too.
Of the DC book?
Yeah.
Joshua Williams.
Yeah, he's not writing it anymore. I'm
I
almost
thought he
positive.
quit.
Oh, he quit?
Not quit. He was just done with his run. I
Oh.
didn't know that it was.
Maybe that's the thing. I just heard he's gone. He's not on it anymore. Which could be. I read the headlines and then I send them to you.
Such bullshit. All right. Well, now that I know, you're gonna be getting some really weird takes on stuff. I'm just gonna make up everything.
No, I just I see stuff, but I don't necessarily. I don't know. I just don't want to take the time to read it. I don't. Like
It takes 30 seconds.
Yeah, it
Until
takes
you do
me a
the
little
deep
longer,
dive.
but like I don't know. It's kind of like the Warren Ellis thing. Like I get it, not good, but at the end of the day, like I still want to finish out Batman's Grave. Like still like his books, still like his work.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about that getting canceled.
That's
I
good.
looked.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. Well, it should all be done. See, in cases like
No,
that.
just in his last newsletter, he was talking about he was finishing up the last 3.
Oh, I thought he had a book that was 12 issues that was all done. That was what everybody had been saying when Tom King was getting done with his run. That he was going to take over.
Yeah, maybe the framework was in the can, but he was still working on something. Maybe he was just like proofing the edits. I don't know, or like the art. I don't know. I was subscribed to his newsletter. That's how I found out about the shit, because I wouldn't have looked at CBR this morning or Bleeding Cool or any of that shit. But like all of a sudden, I'm like, why is Orbital Operations sending me an email, which is his newsletter? And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is this? Like, this is fucked up. Why is he apologizing? Like, I don't get any of this. And then I looked and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's, and he's like shutting down the newsletter, like, done.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I enjoyed the newsletter. Like, he recommended like a lot of books that I looked into, or that one that you're still reading, that sci-fi one from Image. What the fuck is it called?
East to West?
Nope. It was just that recent one that...
Oh, Tartarus?
Yes, Tartarus. That's how I heard about that. Like, he actually has gotten me to look at some different books. There was something else I picked up and have continued reading. I don't remember what it was exactly, but from his word, because I'm like, oh, yeah, he writes stuff that I like. If he likes it, I probably would like it. You know, as far as like a sci-fi type thing. Some of his stuff that he recommends, I'm like, yeah, I'm good on that. But, you know, there were cool things that he suggested and whatnot. So I'm kind of bummed that they canceled that he canceled that. But at the same time, I kind of get it. He's probably going to be taking some pretty bad press hits for a while.
He just has to do an apology tour, and then he'll be back in the good graces.
Bleeding Cool's article, and I quote, he only said sorry once, and I'm like, I saw my apologies like a few times in the because they basically, I shouldn't say that, they screen captured whatever was out on his newsletter, so it was word for word what he said. I apologize. I recognize my wrongs. Like, I saw a lot of different things. Like, he did say I'm sorry once, and I get that, but then they got to put their little twist on it, and you know, the media controlling how we think and feel and operate. That's why, like, when I sent it to you, I was like, well, that's fucked up. And like, the first thing in my head is like, I just want him to finish Batman's Grave, because I really am digging that run. Like, we've talked about it. It's really good. It's like just a down and dirty fucking detective story, which we'll talk about when I think we're just going to talk about Batman 92, right?
Yeah.
So like a little later on we'll talk about that. But like this is like,
I thought you were talking about Metal.
Fun Batman. Yeah, Metal. We'll talk about
the
that
contrast.
too. We'll talk about that too. But like, Batman's Grave is like fun Batman. Like, it's not this big, massive character development odyssey like Tom King did, which I respect it. I liked it. It was cool. But this is kind of like a nice refresher. you know.
Oh, you know what's bullshit about the whole Tom King run? The Bat-Cat thing isn't going to be in continuity. Tinian said that.
No. Why is he
Tinian.
continuing it on right now? I mean, they're still...
do you know anything about the Bat-Cat thing?
No.
You want spoilers?
For what?
For what the book's about? It's a Tom King thing.
Oh, that book.
Yeah.
That hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
I didn't even pay attention to it.
Oh.
I probably wasn't going to get it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that I can tell you spoilers.
Sure.
All right, so Selena's pregnant.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It makes sense.
So
100%.
Yeah, then why? That's probably why they don't want it in continuity.
Yeah.
Even though Damien...
Who knows?
Okay, whatever.
It's the masterminds of DC doing their thing.
But Didio's gone now.
It'll constrain their storytelling abilities by having...
Who's in charge now?
It's still Jim Lee.
Oh, okay.
And he decided to, instead of trying to figure out... Well, I don't know if it was like his call, but he was supposed to be the person steering the ship through this, like, cacophony of bullshit that was going on. He's just like, I'm gonna draw pictures for 60 days.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that and auction them off. I mean, it was for a good cause, yeah.
But like, the industry is potentially collapsing. Nobody's communicating. The one distributor's gone. And instead of talking to retailers and trying to figure out how to get your books out, you're just gonna go sit in a room for 16 hours a day, which is commendable. That's awesome, but it's also very confusing.
You raise a valid point. Yeah. So the landscape has been weird. And now we're kind of back to normal-ish. Marvel's not putting out a whole lot right now.
Not as much.
DC seems to be full steam ahead.
I think they canceled that New Warriors thing, which is funny.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
I
entertaining.
think that's very, very funny.
The movie, you mean?
Oh no, the comic book, the new Warriors, but the New Mutants movie.
Oh, that's what it was. Sorry.
That was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
Now it's still not ever coming out, which is awesome.
Some of the books went straight to digital now, not even putting out a print version. Both DC and Marvel. And that's pretty much everything, I think.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, comics are still here.
For now.
They'll always be here, but maybe not in the same.
Good point.
Because they were all concerned about digital comics, and like webtoons are a thing.
Yeah, and I think some of the comic companies were putting stuff out online, digital, during the shutdown as well. I don't have any specific examples off the top of my head, but I know
DC was putting out its Walmart stuff.
And
selling them for like $1 or something on Comixology.
There were some different indie companies too that were just throwing stuff up there that you could read, stuff that they had written. I know I was directed a few times by links like, oh yeah, this guy's continuing writing a couple pages every day, you can read them, or whatever it was.
I really wish they would have been doing that for some stuff.
Yeah.
Like Batman 92, they should have been releasing a panel a day.
A panel a day.
Or a page a day or something. I don't know.
Right.
I'm digging Peace Talks once a week. They're releasing chapters.
Oh, really?
For Dresden, yeah. So chapter 3 just came out. Read that. It wasn't.
So what's the point? You're gonna get the book and you're like, all right, I already read it.
No, because it comes out in 3 weeks ish.
No.
So they'll be up to chapter 5 or 6.
Oh.
And then
okay.
I can just skip the first 50 pages.
Yeah. Yeah, his chapters are small. All right, but
Sometimes.
let's talk Batman 92 since we were kind of segueing into that. So what do you got?
On 92, I wasn't really prepared to talk about it, but it wasn't as awesome as the hype was led to believe. All the speculators were wrong, which is how they're always going to be. Any book that the speculators are saying is going to be worth a lot of money and they start upping the prices of it, when the book's not even out and people can still order it, is never going to be worth anything. Ever.
See, and I thought it was awesome for all the reasons that they didn't say. Like, everybody was all worried about this character reveal, which was there, and that's cool. But I thought the story was pretty fucking cool. Like,
the story's awesome.
The story progression was very cool, and I know I made the comment, I'm like, this is like Batman going on adventures. And again, just that refreshing taste from after slogging through King's Run. Which, if you're... I mean, you talk very highly of Tynion's run on Detective, so if he continues doing that in this one, I think it could be a really good run where we're not slogging through that stuff. I don't think Tynion is as much of... he pushes the boundaries, but you know what I mean? Like, we're not...
He doesn't delve into the human psyche, the human condition. What
Correct.
makes us tick? Why are we here? What are we
Correct.
doing? What does anything mean?
Correct.
He doesn't put in
Which is
18-page Shakespeare poem
yeah.
with random pictures or a weird Russian folktale that correlates kind of to what's going on in it. He's like, Batman punched Riddler in the face now.
Yeah. Oh, I loved that. I loved the whole crossword puzzle thing. That was really fucking cool. Everything going on with Catwoman and Harley Quinn was really cool in the background.
Yeah, that's a
like
team up that
thing.
should have been happening a long time ago.
Agreed. I think Catwoman showed up and when they rebooted the Harley Quinn book, like way back when.
Oh, I never read Harley Quinn.
I read it. I remember Poison Ivy being there a lot. And then obviously there's the whole Poison Ivy Harley Quinn thing. No. But I think she was in there. Maybe not. I could be wrong. You can yell at me in the comments. But yeah, that book was fun. Yeah. And especially for being the first Batman back, I was very, very pleased. And maybe that set the bar a little lower for me for it to, clear. Because I was just like, well, I know I was really on the fence about comic books in general for a while. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Like, I was getting pissed off about stuff. I've dropped a bunch of stuff. But, like, that definitely reminded me of why I like them so much. Like,
oh, yeah.
It was a good chunk of story. It had a beginning, a middle, and an end. With enough of a cliffhanger to be like, all right, I'm excited for 2 weeks from now. Because I think they're still doing bi-weekly on that one.
It should be out
next week.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, because that's when we were going to do that.
Yep. So.
And then Steph got COVID and beat it. Hooray!
No.
Not COVID.
Just negative. But we did have a scare there. Otherwise, this would have been out a week earlier.
And then we realized that we were really, really bad actually at quarantining.
Yep.
So that was fun learning adventure.
Yep. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else happened in that book. I know you weren't 100% prepared for it. I
92.
Apologize.
It's following the designer having talked to the Penguin, Catwoman, Joker, and the Riddler, and then he's helped them devise the master plan that will be able to defeat Batman. But it's all of those are ruses and distractions to allow the designer to do his ultimate scheme. But the problem is that the Joker is so fucking insane that the designer tried to actually kill him. And they thought they killed the designer, but he's actually still alive.
And the last page turn
is the designer talking to Bruce.
Which is awesome.
Hey, or not Bruce. He's like, oh, well, yeah. He's like, I know who you are.
Yep.
Since you're here.
Yep. Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Very much enjoyed that. That was a better reveal than Punchline meeting Harley Quinn and Catwoman.
Yeah, see, I was pretty stoked for that, but it didn't play out. She doesn't have good banter yet.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue between them.
And, like, that's where the perfect time for them to shine would have been.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
Quinn had some kind of good lines, and Punchline's just like, no, I'm the punchline. Very dry and boring and not interesting.
maybe she's like a British joke punchline.
But they weren't even like sarcastic or
No.
low key funny,
No.
which was disappointing because there was lots of hype for her. You maybe have to get the Joker 80th anniversary thing with her origin story for her to make more sense.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I was gonna try to find it and read it or just watch a YouTube video about it explaining it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess I don't. I was more excited about the designer. And if we want to back up, was it 90 or 91?
89.
89. Everyone's all oh, punchline. There's so much better shit that happens in that book.
Yeah, and then nobody talked about it.
And nobody gave a shit. I remember texting you and I'm like, you got to read this, but not for the reason that they're fucking saying. And you read it and you're like, how did you not tell me how good this was? And I'm like, well, that would have given everything away. I didn't want to spoil it because then it wouldn't have been as good.
Well, no, that's that. I hadn't read any of it until that point.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So I read the beginning of Tinian's Run all the way to 91. Then the world stopped.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, that was a good read so far, the whole thing.
But like anything based around the hype of Punchline has just been weak. And like you said, the character really felt like it fell flat. I did not care. I was more pumped about seeing the designer again. I was more pumped about Bruce figuring out the Riddler's riddle and the crossword puzzle because I love crossword puzzles. Like that, I don't know. The Harley Quinn and Catwoman interaction was more interesting, like them fighting and like that banter between them, which like you said, how did that not happen before? Like it's a really good thing, and then to throw her in there and not really, like you said, and maybe he's gonna do something with her in the future that's gonna be better or develop it. I mean, it is just an appearance.
Yeah, it might just be that the hype was too high and then it wasn't actually delivered, which kind of sucks about hype.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it was cool but it didn't work because the hype for her showing up in that 89 was maybe to offset the fact that he was going to introduce this even more interesting character, but for some reason nobody caught how cool that was, except us.
I think if we really searched, we'd find other stuff. But like, they're obviously at the end of the day, all these news outlets are like somehow tied to the comics industry and are looking to sell books. Yeah. I don't care how you slice it. They may not be directly funded by these companies, but like they want hits on their websites. They're going to go for things that are things. DC knows, hey, we're going to sell a shit ton of these books. All we got to do is like leak a little bit of stuff to the news sites. They're going to fucking drum up this big thing. We're going to sell more books. They're going to get more traffic. It's win-win for everybody. But at the end of the day, like, you and I are like, yeah, hype's bullshit. I mean, I remember, this is going to be a terrible example, but all the new Star Wars movies, like, I never watched a single preview. I went in blind for all of them. Never saw a single thing.
And then you never watched them again or thought about them.
Yeah, but I've done that with other stuff too, and it's been good.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be doing that with Star Wars. On the plus side, though, there is a rumor going around that they are going to turn the sequel trilogy into pretty much a Legends thing, an Elseworld thing. So it never actually happened. It's an alternative timeline. They're going to just scrap it all, and that means there's going to be a new 7, 8, and 9. Maybe one that actually has people caring about Star Wars again.
Here's an idea, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. Just make a fucking movie that's good. Don't worry about fucking continuity and all this other bullshit. If it's
No.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Can't do it.
So you don't have so if you don't have continuity, then you get what 7, 8, and 9 is.
Could have been better.
but it wasn't because they didn't adhere to continuity.
It's
They tried to
it's-
force a completely different narrative structure on it, ignoring all the mythos that had been established and denying actual just good storytelling principles.
that part I agree with. Other than that, it's not for us.
It's not for hardly anyone.
I don't know. I think there's a
It's not even
there's a generation that loves episode 1, 2, and 3, and I'm like, this is shit.
I still kind of really like episode 1. I don't really care.
I mean, the pod racing was good, but other than that, I could, like, either way, no matter what, we grew up with 4, 5, and 6. That's all there was. And that's really fucking good.
But you enjoy a bunch of the extended universe Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that can live on a screen.
You don't
That's
think
just
Shadows of the Empire couldn't?
They'd fuck it up.
No. If they didn't fuck it up.
That's
a
not
different-
possible.
a
That's not
different-
possible.
Star Wars can never be done again. Right.
I
You said
mean-
Mandalorian was okay.
No,
from
because
what people are saying.
everybody's. I'm sorry, but like movies now compared to like when movies, like, don't get me wrong, movies, the ultimate goal of all movies has always been to make money. But there's been a lot of fucking movies that were created in the past because they wanted to tell a story. And that has taken to the back seat to the fucking box office. It just has.
Whatever Nolan's new movie might not be. Tenet.
Okay. And I'm not saying, okay,
Same with
I'm not saying everything.
Interstellar.
I'm not saying everything, but at the end of the day, it's about the fucking box office.
Endgame. The whole MCU thing was about telling a good story.
I
But
disagree.
they fucked it up at the end.
Bingo.
But they made
made
all
a
the
lot of money.
They made all the money. And then they got that cool thing where, like, we didn't make enough money, so we'll re-release the movie again with ended extra stuff.
And the other thing, like, if you look at, like, there's a lot of people like, oh, the indie films, right? And I cannot think of a lot of, like, movies that in the past 10 years, 15, we'll go 15 years. It's 2020. Okay, that take us back to 2005. I'll go 20 years back, right? Can you think of any movie released from 2000 to now that all of a sudden has a cult following?
Not off the top of my head.
And
but
everything is about these big budget films and fucking, it's all about making money.
Alita,
The
Battle Angel. Yeah.
I've never seen it. I can't comment on that.
Cult following.
Okay, fair enough. But I'm just thinking of, like, some of the stuff that, like,
Donnie Darko.
that was pre-2000, I think, wasn't it? I remember
Nah.
watching it in high school. But
You watched it
again,
in high school? I watched it in
was it college? Maybe it was college.
It was either 2004, 2005.
Hey, can you Google that?
Yeah, I was just going to. Donnie Darko's. I don't know.
But okay. You-
2001.
Damn it.
Oh, it's fucking close. But there's not. I mean, there's
Sin
still
C-
indie. There's still indie film. Nah, Sin City had a lot of fucking hype. Fuck
okay,
that.
it's
Frank
not.
Miller put his fucking name on it. Had
but-
that fucking V for Vendetta already had come out before that too?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like,
but then
I'm-
the thing about cult classics is that they're cult and they're under the radar.
Yeah.
So maybe there are a bunch of movies by definition that fit that bill.
I
We
don't
just don't know it.
I really want to see the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I have the ability to do so. I just have not watched it yet.
It's good.
Because again, he's doing what he wants. He's not fucking hindered by these big movie companies. That's another big thing. Who knows what Star Wars could have been if somebody actually sat down, wrote the thing, and got to do everything that they wanted to do.
No, they did. That's what Last Jedi was. That was off the cuff, no holds barred, do whatever you want. Have fun.
Nobody stopped him and said, "Yeah, we're not doing that."
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, I mean, it was bad. I
That was the movie he wanted to do.
I've blocked it out.
He has gone on record saying that, oh yeah, it would have been a good idea to have done a pre-screening to see what audience would have thought about this movie.
I got nothing.
Kathleen Kennedy was like, yeah, have fun. Do a movie. The only stipulation is the Force is female. That is the only stipulation.
I got nothing.
And it made a bunch of money.
Sold a lot of toys. Clearly a lot of kids liked it.
Nope, it didn't sell a lot of toys. No. It doesn't sell toys anymore. They're all marked off in the bargain bins, and nobody still wants to buy them.
Fair enough.
Which is what Star Wars is a toy commercial with story.
Yeah. You could argue too, like, our ability to do basically whatever we want on the big screen. Like, we're not really held back. Like, movies now are not really held back like they were when the first Star Wars came out. Like, that was something to see.
Well, no,
right?
See, you could be going back to practical effects and having movies become timeless again.
I would love that.
Yeah, but it costs too much money, which doesn't make sense to me whatsoever.
Nope.
Because you gotta have a team to create this physical thing. And that's gonna be like 20 people, maybe? Right? And then you can just keep utilizing that piece, or have 2 or 3 of them, and keep using it. Or you can have a team of 1,000 people who all have individualized talents to render one starship. 15 seconds of a movie. And you've got 2.5 hours of CGIing to do.
I'd be curious if you, like, took the Star Wars budgets and updated them to today's dollars, how they would compare with the budgets of some of these big blockbuster movies.
The original ones?
Yeah.
No, it was on the cheap. That's why it was a hit.
Okay. Then, but now would it still be considered on the cheap? Like in today's dollars? Like, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Like, it would be interesting with inflation and yada 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 if it still came in way lower, because then I would argue, why the fuck are we not doing that? Like, Jim Henson and all them puppets and, like, all those fucking costumes, dude, like, fucking badass, man.
Well, they did a Dark Crystal too.
Yeah.
Not sure if they did puppets and stuff.
I don't know. I think there's something to be said getting rid of the fucking CG shit. I think,
dude, Hellboy 2, Golden Army, that has all practical. Not all. There's a good majority of it that's practical. The monsters, like the Angel of Death, the troll thing, like almost all the monsters that when he goes into Undertown or whatever, all those people, those are all costumes, not CG, and they still look good today.
Yeah.
But you go and look at, I don't know, you can even tell when things are fucked up in current movies that they didn't spend enough time doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why I like Lord of the Rings. Like, I get there's a lot of CG in that, but, like, the core people, like Gandalf, that was all a costume. Like,
well, the Lord of the Rings is weird because they actually did interesting perspective shots that I don't understand how it works, where, like, Gandalf is 20 feet away from Bilbo, but it appears that they're sitting and talking to each other side by side. When you do the cutaway thing, they're, like, nowhere near each other.
Yeah.
Same with all the Hobbit scenes with, like, the Hobbits and Aragorn or anybody. Same with Gimli. I don't know how tall he is, but I doubt he's...
But, like, a lot of that stuff, they, like, went to actual locations and they filmed, like, real stuff. Like, I don't know. I think there's something to be said for that. Maybe I'm nostalgic for older movies, and then at the same time you're like, did you know there's a Deep Blue Sea too? And I was like, what?
Oh, fuck, I didn't watch that.
I did not either. But I love me some Deep Blue Sea.
There's
When
a
did
third
Deep
one.
Blue Sea come out?
Oh my god.
That had to be
Same
like
year as Lake Placid.
that had to be like 98, 99.
Yeah, something like that.
99.
Booyah! I'm like, that's right there. Right there. Fucking love that movie.
CG's shit.
Oh,
Placid was also 99. You are
N-
correct.
that whole fucking shit was terrible, but so good.
It looked good back then.
The story was good. I fucking love that movie.
It's kind of dumb story.
I fucking love it.
Well, that's why it's good. We're gonna create.
Samuel L. Jackson's in that, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yes.
Was
and
it a
LL
s-
Cool J.
yeah.
The guy. They always kill the black man. They always kill the black man.
No, it was weird in the article. They were saying that it was the movie was helmed by by Samuel L. Jackson. The article I read, I was like, well, no.
He dies pretty early on.
Yeah, it's like, I never thought he was the titular character. I would have gone with Cool J was,
Yeah.
and
And the other guy.
yeah,
And then you brought up the parrot, and I was like, fuck, I forgot about the parrot.
What was Deep Blue Sea about?
Sharks.
they're trying to find a cure for cancer or some disease, and sharks have the ability to kill cancer cells, so they're making the sharks super smart so that they can somehow develop the cure faster, because then the sharks will know how to cure themselves. And then the sharks are like, yeah, fuck that, we want to be in the sea, and they start killing everybody.
Because they're super smart.
Yeah, and they're in the middle of the ocean, obviously.
Yep.
And they don't have a means to escape.
And the sharks knock down the communications and like
start systematically puncturing holes in their facility, and so now sharks are swimming through all the corridors, chomping up people.
it's fucking awesome.
It's-
We
it's
need
hilarious.
to watch that movie.
It's a
It
great
is
movie.
fucking great.
Alright. I think I've seen it now that you guys say it.
Oh.
But
I
I'll watch it again.
I'd watch that 20 times over. It's probably so bad now. I haven't watched that probably in like 10 years.
I do also really enjoy Lake Placid though.
Lake Placid's
Yeah.
a good one too.
It's
What
actually
about
not
Lake
very
Placid 2 or Lake Placid 3 or
There-
Lake Placid The Return?
I'm pretty
There's a
sure there's-
lot of fucking Lake Placid.
long. I
Oh,
don't
is
know
it?
that I've
There's
ever
4?
seen all of those,
Oh,
but I just remember the one time the girl is like running after the guy, screaming, "Don't go in the water! I'll have sex with you!"
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Dude, every time I don't think I ever saw the second one, but I know in the first one, like, there's I don't remember if it's a girl or a kid or what, like dangling their feet off the pier, and you see the little baby alligators swimming around.
Oh, that's at the end, yeah.
Yep. I mean, I guess they did do a Godzilla too, but like
No,
when
they didn't.
Godzilla came out, there were the eggs in Madison
No,
Square
they
Garden,
never-
and I'm wondering,
They
are the
never
eggs
did.
still there?
Well,
What's
they
going
hatched.
on?
They hatched. One of them hatched at the end of that was
Yeah.
yeah. They never did a sequel to 98. 98 Matthew Broderick's.
All right, Hollywood, bring it on.
No, because apparently that was a shitty movie. I thought
Yeah.
that was the greatest Godzilla movie of all time.
I mean, it was shitty, but it was fucking cool, and that was like kind of on the heels of Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs were cool.
Still are,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I don't know about the new Jurassic Park movies. I actually haven't even seen the Jurassic World 2 yet.
Okay, so speaking of dinosaurs, let's talk metal. Like, seriously.
Oh, that was the coolest shit ever. Fucking a dinosaur Batman.
That was something.
That was amazing.
I don't want to go
I'm
first on
super
this.
jazzed. I'm super jazzed about a Batman dinosaur, especially him talking.
So you're
Him and
jazzed
Wonder.
about death metal.
Yeah, nah. It's a toss up at the minute.
I mean, the banter between the dinosaur and Wonder Woman
Was
funny.
amazing.
Yeah, that was good. And then to bring it back towards the end, where he's like, "Oh, what about those arms now?"
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good callback. Like, I dug that.
But can you throw a batarang? I'm working on it.
Working on it.
Can you drive a Batmobile? No, but I can eat you.
So, I feel like I missed a bunch of shit.
No, they covered it all in the book. which is hilarious. They have. So I stopped reading Justice League. I did not pick up Hell Arisen nor the Batman Superman crossover.
Okay.
Nor any of the dark multiverse stuff.
Neither did I.
And all you have to know is that Perpetua's like, yeah, I'm going to make a deal with the Batman Who Laughs and strip. I'm just going to make a deal with, not strip anything, strip Lex Luthor from his Apex Predator thing, which was the entire point of Justice League Snyder's run, was Lex was trying to become the Apex human or whatever.
Yep.
And then he went to war with the Joker, Batman, or the Batman Who Laughs, and I don't know. It was gonna be cool. I'm sure it's cool when you read it.
The end of Justice League.
Well, I don't know what happened at the end of Justice League, but like leading up to that.
Yeah.
Do they go into like a time warp or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Death
And
Metal.
they were like,
they explain it.
yeah,
It's a panel.
I forgot about that as soon as you said, yeah, they go into time warp, and I was like, this is such a fucking cop out. They're just resetting it.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah. I would have liked to see just the whole fucking world just fucking in ashes and be done with it.
Well, it is in ashes.
My man Swamp Thing was in there, though. Cannot go through this episode, our first episode back, without mentioning Swamp Thing. He's in there. He's not doing so hot.
It would have been better if it wasn't like a DC-centric episode, and you still managed to squeak that motherfucker in. But yeah, he's in there. Something happened to him. The Parliament's on its last leg.
Yeah, so I read that, and I was like, well, I'm going to go read Justice League Dark 22 to figure out what the fuck's going on, which doesn't explain anything.
Well, did they stop crossing over? They're interweaving.
Well, the Parliaments are in trouble right now.
Yeah, but it's not like the Justice League Dark isn't currently coinciding with Metal.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
The continuity's different.
Oh. Oh, so you
Unless
can
it
have
was a
numerous
prequel.
continuities? That's okay?
Well, no,
That's
it's
okay.
all.
I
It's
thought
all
that wasn't
adhering-
okay because we're gonna pick this, and we're gonna pick this, and we're gonna pick this, and we're gonna pick this. Just fucking write a good story. I don't really care.
Everything is still adhering to continuity, just like the current continuities aren't interwoven yet. Like,
Yeah.
technically, Justice League Dark could be a prequel to Death Metal.
I think the word continuity just should not be allowed to be said anymore.
All right, so you get rid
No,
of
I get that. I
continuity,
get that. I get
then
it.
you can't
I
have
get
a
it.
story.
I get it. I get it. How about we call it the character's background, the character's origin, the character's... I mean, I get it. I get it.
That is the
I get
continuity.
it. Swamp Thing is Swamp. Not fuck continuity. Like, then everybody's like, it's all gotta fucking fit together. And it does not have to fit together. Batman's grave has nothing to do with anything going on in the Batman universe. But it's still Batman. Kicking ass. Taking names.
Still adhering
Gordon's back. He's not dead. I don't know if he's dead anymore. I think he is. He's still dead, right? Yeah, because Bullock or whatever is still in charge, right?
Yeah, Bullock.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just need the fucking threads of the core of who Batman is, and you can write a Batman story. And it can live, and it can breathe, and it can be good.
But
better than what they're fucking trying to interweave into here.
But Batman's grave is adhering to the continuity of Batman, just not the current one that's going on. Like, it's
fitting Batman's character, his background.
That's
who
all
Batman
part of the
is.
continuity.
Yeah, I don't like that word. I just don't like that word. Because you say that word, and you have all these fanboys on YouTube. This doesn't fit. What the fuck? This doesn't fit. How are they gonna fucking shoehorn this thing up my ass next week? No, I'm sorry. They can exist. Star Wars has tons of fucking books. And I know Disney's like, nah, those don't exist. Burn them all. Fahrenheit 451 that bitch. Whatever. They can exist. They can do things. And there was a lot of shit that did not make sense or jive, and this happened, and you have no idea where it is in the timeline. There's the core, there's Shadows of the Empire. I get that. You build off that.
You can look where everything is in the timeline. Like, almost every Star Wars book has a chronological order of the books and where they fit in
For that
to the
series
overall
or whatever.
thing.
There was a lot of fucking retcons and all sorts of shit. You can't... It doesn't all fit.
Yeah, because those are the things that don't fit into continuity.
Especially
then.
something like comics. Like, it's been around for how fucking long? Like, there is a lot of fucking history there. It's not all gonna fucking fit. I guarantee you, Batman's continuity now does not fit Batman's continuity when he first came out.
Yeah, that's what Doomsday Clock was trying to explain.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't need that. I know that the Batman, like Adam West Batman, is different from the Batman in Nolan's.
Yeah, they're all different.
They're all different. It's a different time. But everyone's like, oh, it's gotta fit. It's all gotta fit. You gotta fucking create this big jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, that's why they do the Crisis, wipe it clean, so they can start a new one, but still adhering to, as you say, the core base of the character. And then the issue occurs when that character. So, which is better, Batman's Grave or Death Metal?
Right now,
Yeah.
Batman's Grave.
Yeah, because that's adhering to the true continuity of Batman. Death Metal is them throwing as much shit at the wall and going as fucking crazy as they can to tell a fun story. But
It's not fun.
I'm having fun enough.
I mean, fair enough, but like I thought it was like the Tyrannosaur thing, Batman T-Rex. That was, like I said, cool, funny, haha. Keep going. But like other than that, like the whole chainsword thing coming out,
Yeah.
not cool at all.
Yeah, I was disappointed
I
about
was
that.
turned off by the first page where it's like, Batman, Robin, stand 6 feet apart. Fuck you. I do not need a PSA in my goddamn comic book.
Get used to it.
Here's an idea.
Get ready for next month.
Maybe you should have had that how many months ago when we first fucking got that shit shoved down our throats. If you do not know by now to stand 6 feet apart, you have been living in the hole in the ground.
Dude, just imagine somebody picking that up like, wait, what? Batman says we gotta stay 6 feet apart. What's going
Batman
on?
says it, I'm doing it.
What's going on out there?
Next week, it's going to be Batman, wear your mask. And then they're going to have all the comic book characters drawn. They're going to draw in little masks. And it's going to be cheesy. I should do that. I should fucking take my copy and just draw masks all over it and sell it. It was interesting. I'm kind of sick of the Batman who laughs. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, he calls it out in there, too. Down the first splash page. Oh, yeah, I know you guys are all sick of seeing me again. I was like, yeah, hey, if you're the guy who's writing this shit, you should know that and come up with something different.
Maybe he's trying to troll you.
Well, no, that's what they do.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what comic book writers do. And artists, they troll the fans for cheap laughs. Because you're still going to buy the shit anyways.
Well, and bitching about it,
Yeah, they fucking got me.
press is bad press,
They
or-
fucking got me. Motherfuckers.
I think there was a couple lines in there that were like that. I just don't remember them off the top of my head.
I mean, it was an interesting intro to the story. I was like super pumped to see Swamp Thing, and I'm like, this is gonna be cool. And then like the more I got into it, I'm like, all right, you've already destroyed most of the multiverse. There's what, eight planets left. And then once they all destroy them, he's cutting a deal with Diana, right?
No, all the heroes.
All the heroes. They all get their own planets, and they can live there safely however they want. But Batman's like, nope, we're not going to do this.
Well, no, it's
and
not-
he's at odds with Wonder Woman because she's like, we got to do this one fell swoop. And Batman's like, no, we got to do this systematically, one at a time.
No, Batman doesn't want to do it one at a time.
Yes, he does.
No, Batman just wants to save he wants to save everyone who's there right now and go into hiding.
He literally says, we need to do this one battle at a time. And Diana's like, no, we need to save everybody. We need to fucking get the whole universe back.
No, Diana wants to save everybody. Batman wants to save only the people who are still alive. Diana wants to do one giant war to win everything. Batman wants to do systematic war battles to win the war. But so who? Oh, all right. I thought you were connotating that he wants to save everybody too.
No. Well, no, I don't. Not like. I think he wants to, but like right now he realizes that's not in the cards, and he needs to.
No,
we
at
need
all.
to fight this one battle at a time. Well, yeah. I guess. I don't know. I didn't really take it that way.
He thinks it's hopeless. That's why.
In the current state. But if they start getting people back.
But he's Batman. He knows everything. There is no other state. It's hopeless. Because he's Batman. Batman knows everything.
Say that. No, he doesn't. Fuck
it's
that.
Batman.
Fuck
he knows
that.
everything.
Fuck that.
He knows that Diana scrapped the invisible jet.
That's true.
And it's it's not a Batman book. Did you catch that? It's not his story. It's Diana's story.
I didn't read that anywhere, but I got that vibe.
They straight out say it somewhere towards the end.
I'm sorry. I was laughing at the pulling of the cord and then a picture of a chainsaw arm thing.
Chainsaw arm?
Like a blueprint type dealio, that blue page with the sketch of the. And I'm like,
they don't actually show it because it's invisible.
That's cool.
It's
fucking invisible. Are you serious?
Yeah.
The only reason I bought
that was the only
fucking reason was like, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And you're like, dude, chainsaw arm.
Chainsaw sword, dude.
Chainsaw sword arm.
If you want chainsaw arms, read Chainsaw Man.
Okay,
on the Shonen Jump thing.
Yes, I get
You'll
that.
fucking love it.
I'm just saying, like, I was not gonna buy this book, and you're like, dude, chainsaw sword arm thing. Like, you're like, Diana looks like she has a chainsaw arm. How could you not be in on that? That is the only reason I'm like, I looked at it, and I'm like, he's not wrong. I do like chainsaws. I do like the idea of it being attached to her arm or a sword or whatever the fuck it is. I'll buy the first issue. I can tell you this, I'm not buying all those fucking tie-ins.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be waiting for a trade.
I think at the end of that, too, there's like something about Tynion's Batman run and the Joker War. Not going to be buying all those tie-ins.
Nope.
I've been extremely disappointed with DC's tie-ins as of late.
Yeah.
I think...
No, everything from the first metal was good.
Yeah. And I'm not wondering if they're trying to dip back into the pot and recapture magic that's already done.
What? Really? You think that's what's going on? When the entire premise of the entire story is that they're going to go to the dark multiverse versions of all the past crises that have occurred, relive them.
That's not what I'm saying. I am saying they're going back to the well for money, and it's not going to be a good story. I'm not saying, like, that's literally what they're doing, because I understand that's literally what they're doing, but I think they're putting a tag on it and putting two writers on it that they know can sell books. And it's not going to be as cool as metal.
Yeah.
No, okay. I guess the wool was pulled over my eyes because I thought it'd be cool.
It's still gonna be cool.
I don't believe that. That's what I'm saying. Like, that book does not have me waiting on the edge of my seat for the second one.
Yeah, I don't
Justice
even
League
remember
Dark 22. I want to know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, the cliffhanger in this was negligible.
Just saying, you know how I was saying, like, John Constantine doesn't shoot firebolts out of his finger? karma fucking bit me in the ass big
does,
time
yeah.
because he shot a fucking laser bolt out of his fucking finger. Like, literally goes like this, and you can see the bolt coming out. I'm like, are you fucking serious, universe? Are you fucking serious right now? I just told JD, I'm like, yeah, I don't ever remember that fucking happening.
So what you're saying
Boom!
is Constantine might be able to take Dresden.
I'm still down for the battle of the comedic wit. Like, fuck the magic, fuck the weapons, fuck the what other one did I say would be wits? Well, fuck that. I want just stand-up comedy. Because I would find I know we said it, like the banter between those two would be fucking hilarious. And we should probably preface this by saying, I should have said this a while ago, like, we keep talking Dresden. We're talking about Dresden Files.
Read it if you haven't.
Yeah, it's not a comic book. It's just
It is a comic book.
Oh yeah, it is. I guess so. But don't read that.
Don't read
the
the
novels.
comics.
The novels are fucking amazing. I should have read them a long time ago. It's everything you could want. If you like fucking Constantine, if you like Harry Potter, you fucking like, well, maybe not Harry Potter. Then you're probably a child.
No, if you liked Harry Potter when you were young, you'll like this more. Because you've already been put into that. Huh?
Predisposed.
That's the word.
Wizards.
It's one of the words.
Wizards.
It's maybe going to go with indoctrinated.
Warlocks. Vampires.
Yeah, if you like mythology and seeing very interesting
Werewolves.
renditions of it is...
Demons.
Steph,
fairies.
you like Harry Potter?
I read Harry Potter when I was a child. Yep.
Yeah, you'd like Dresden.
Yeah. I also read that fucking Twilight. All the Twilight.
Yeah, I guess that had some werewolves in it, huh? And vampires.
Did. Well, actually, I think they were all shapeshifters in the end or some shit. I don't know. I don't remember.
Are you
The
talking
fu-
about Lost, where they're all dead?
No. They
Spoiler alert.
They were shapeshifters in Twilight. I think the werewolves
What?
were shapeshifters.
Are you gonna buy the new book?
No.
Oh, there's like a prequel book, I think,
Ooh.
or some sort of a new book,
They're going to make a movie?
or maybe that was Hunger Games.
No, it's both.
Did you
Oh,
Did you call it Hungry Games?
hunger, hunger.
All right.
I want to see the Hungry Games.
I want to see the Hungry Hippo Games.
There was a kind of cool little meme video. There's like the Hungry Hippo things. They had 3 of the hippos, and one of them was gone, and they put a bunch of like dog food in there, and then the dog acted as the 4th, just eating all the kibble.
That's pretty good.
You can't really find out who got the red one then.
There's a red marble.
Or maybe it's a yellow marble.
I don't know.
There's one marble
There's
that's
one-
a different color.
Yep.
I think there's one red one.
It sounds as if you guys have recently played Hungry Hippos.
Not in a while, but Kai really liked Hungry Hippos.
Sometimes one person would have to beat all 3 of
Yeah.
the Hungry Hippos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you literally had to hit all 3 of them, or be a problem. It was a good time.
Yeah, it's like 2 hands and a foot.
Everybody loved Hungry Hippos in our house.
All right, is this a good time for a beer break?
Yeah.
All right, beer break. I don't even know what we're talking about next.
Oh, well, you just cracked it. This just in. So we were supposed to have our first guest on, but they canceled last second. Busted foot or something.
Damn.
Yeah, Lindsay was swimming and jumped off a dock, and the water was shallow and bollocksed up her ankle. It's not broken or anything, but she iced it.
Not good.
Yeah. So she was gonna be reading this too, and she did. And she sent me this question. Is there more to the beginning of that comic? Or is it kind of a learn as you go kind of one? It's super cool from what I've read. A little dark, but understandably so with its storyline.
Is this pertaining to metal?
Yeah. So can you feel that? Is there more to this comic, or is it a learn as you go? What's your take on it?
I mean, clearly when I was like, huh? And then you started like regaling, and you're like, oh yeah, it ties into Justice League. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense because at the end they went through the portal and, excuse me, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's an easy one to jump in on. I was kind of surprised you were like, oh yeah, she's gonna read it. And I'm like, okay, that's something you could do. Like, you kind of got to know who Perpetua is.
They explain it. They explain it 100% in the comic.
I mean, to a certain
No,
extent.
100% they explain it. How do you not find it's like them explaining it more so than any of the comics that I've at least read? She is the antithesis of the Speed Force, the creative energy. She is the crisis energy. She was the one who created the DC universe.
Oh, so that's why Wally's all fucked up, because she's the antithesis of the Speed Force?
Yeah.
Didn't pick up on that.
It says it in there. But now he's got like the Watchmen. He's got Dr. Manhattan power.
Yeah. Well, and they hit the smiley face button too.
The upside down smile, the frowny face.
Yeah.
They fucked up. They should have had a bit of blood on it.
I don't know, man.
Or whatever the antithesis of blood is.
I would not. I felt maybe I was overthinking it and not paying attention to what was actually on the page, because I was like trying to put everything together myself when I should have just been like, I don't know, it was fucking cheesy.
How so? What was cheesy?
I mean, I know you said it's like just throw shit at the wall, go balls to the walls crazy, and tell a cool story.
How is it not when you got a T-Rex Batman?
Yeah, he did that with Last Night on Earth too. And like I read a story. I can't say that goes down in my top Batman stories, even though it was out of continuity or whatever.
Which one, the Last Night on Earth?
Yeah. Like,
it fits into the Snyder continuity.
Okay, but I mean, regardless of that, like, I could have took that or left it. Like, I finished it.
I remember the first issue and how cool the world was.
Yep.
And then I remember the end, and stuff happened in it. And Wonder Woman had a shaved head for some reason.
I had a hard time with that book, and I think I'm gonna have a hard time with this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'll read it for the sake of reading it, and like, there's a certain amount, like, I like Snyder's stuff. Snyder's Swamp Thing run, when they rebooted and did New 52, was really good.
Oh yeah, what I read of it was good.
Justice League was good. I mean, you got me into that.
And then I stepped out.
Yeah, I mean, towards the end there, but like,
that was Achilles shit though.
He's who's it's him and Tinian on this death metal thing, right? No, it's just Snyder.
It's Snyder and Capullo.
That's it.
But Capullo's doing the art.
I don't know. I think we've discussed this before, and like, Snyder's like a really good big idea guy, but he's kind of not so great at the execution.
Yeah.
And I think
I disagreed with that when I first heard that critique of him.
You're starting to see that?
I apparently saw it with Justice League.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't see it in Metal. I thought
I think when he's not trying to do this big event picture stuff, like I said, his run on Swamp Thing was good. It really got me back into comics. Like, that was the first book I started picking up and reading again.
So that brings it back to the question, like, do you need to know everything that's going on, or do you learn as you go?
I mean, I was a learn as you go guy.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, I think comics lend themselves to that, unless you like jump in like the middle of like Tom King's Batman run's a good example. Like I picked up like right before or right the issue where Robin died, and then there was a bunch of stuff. But like if you hopped in like somewhere
Nightwing?
weird, yeah, sorry, Nightwing.
somebody will be very angry at that comment.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you hop, and it was like after the wedding stuff, and there was like clearly a new turn to the story. Like, if you hopped in the middle of something, it might be hard until they like pick back up. And I would not recommend reading like in the middle of Tom King's Batman run towards the end there.
Well, that's not the middle.
Whatever. If
Yeah.
you just, you know what I'm saying,
The last quarter of it.
towards, yeah,
In the Nightmare run,
yeah. There we
unless you're a Constantine fan, then if you picked it up right at that issue, you would be maybe kind of excited
Well,
because it was
but
the first time.
you had to hit, like, I'm just saying, like, if you missed like the first 2 issues of that quarter of a run, or the first 3 or 4, or hopped in halfway through the last quarter, like, that probably would be tough.
To be honest, I don't even know what was going on in the Nightmare run.
I'm just saying, I think there's some books like you can pick up and you can get rolling. I think there's some books where, like, if you hop in halfway through and you don't know what's going on, it can be tough.
Yeah, but we're talking about that's in general. We're talking about this one.
This
in
specific one,
because this is an event book. So event books, is anyone supposed to be able to just jump into it, or do you necessarily need to have in this case, like I told her all of the issues that were in. You got that 40 issue of Justice League. You got No Justice, which I actually forgot about. You got the Batman Who Laughs miniseries. You've got the Batman Superman thing, the first arc. You've got the Hell Arisen thing, and you've got all those dark multiverse spin-off things. That's gotta be close to at least 70 to 100 comics. 2.5 years worth.
No, I don't think you need to.
Oh, you could also throw in Justice League Dark and Justice League Odyssey, because those were supposed to fit into all of this somehow.
They did for a minute. Maybe like the first parts of them.
Yeah. I stopped Odyssey. It seemed to be filling in what else was going on in the universe. I don't know if they actually got into fighting Perpetua.
I don't know. Dark kind of went on its own.
It still got whatever those guys are called.
The Upside Down?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. I haven't seen them in a while.
I'm
sure they'll rear their ugly heads again.
It was the end of the Cersei thing when they bound her.
But Tynion's off of it now, so who knows if it's ever going to come back. Maybe that was a Tynion thing he was doing, and now this new guy. I think Tynion's still, like, in on it, but there's, like, it's a transitioning thing.
Oh.
Pretty sure.
I thought Tynion was off it.
Could be. I know there was a couple issues there. His name was still on it. But I'm just saying, maybe this other guy's going to be like, yeah, fuck that. We ain't doing that. We'll go in a different way. Maybe he's going to save it. Maybe he's going to make it cool like the New 52 Justice League Dark. But back to the question at hand. That single book, I think you can read it and understand what's going on. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Or maybe I forgot things because it wasn't
really worth a read.
I mean, it was worth a read. And, like, there were obviously parts that stuck out to me, but they were not the parts that I think the author wanted to stick out to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the execution was poor. For, like, especially for, like, a first book of an event. Like, to just sit there and be like, the first thing I texted you was like, well, that was something.
Yeah. I don't even actually remember what the cliffhanger is of this. It didn't have the pizzazz of
Batman 92.
yeah,
Designer sitting in a chair.
or almost any comic. Like that was the thing about Snyder's Justice League run was at the end. Like I would be really pissed reading shit, but then you get to that end and it was whoa, what the hell is gonna happen next?
Yeah.
And this was like, if don't read it, doesn't particularly matter.
Well, and the other thing too, like I get it's an event, but we're so far off the wall, is it really going to have any impact on anything?
No, comics don't.
But I thought
Like, they
the
just-
continuity
they
of
just-
things is supposed to build upon what the other stuff did.
If it's good, it sticks around. If it's bad, it just becomes an Elseworld. And that's outside of continuity.
Yeah,
The thing is,
that's why I
If-
don't like that word.
when-
Like it
when-
just
in 40 years or whatever, when people are talking about the next rendition of Batman, there's going to be people who are very strict in their telling of Batman, and they're going to include Snyder's version of it.
they're gonna like it. They grew up with it. That's what they consume. Now they're the new artists or writers or whatever. Writers,
Unless here's like the craziest thing that I don't know if the people who talk about all the continuity and shit, like when they get very angry about this stuff, if they take it into mind. If the character is not what is being depicted at the current time, it's just a fun story. Somebody's like having fun with it and doing stuff, and it's entertaining. I had a lot of fun with Snyder stuff. Like I would prefer Tinian's Batman, and I would prefer Ellis's Batman. I'm sure there are a bunch of Batmans that I would prefer to what Snyder's doing, but that's the Batman that got me back into it. Like I grew up with the animated series, and like that's what I know as Batman. I don't remember it, but like that has been imprinted on me as what the character is supposed to be. So you can have all this fun stuff and you can get pissed about it, or you can just enjoy it, and then the character will live on how it wants to be remembered by the people. If there's truth in the character's portrayal by the author, that character will continue living. Maybe it's not going to be what you like. Maybe Batman is supposed to be able to punch God in the dick. Maybe he is supposed to just be solving crimes.
Which goes back to the thing that I usually say is some of this stuff is not meant for us.
Right. Which is like when we were talking about the Wicked and Divine. Like I appreciate it. It was a well-crafted piece of literature, but I'm not the direct audience for it.
Nope. And
But
I
that's-
was like, this is awesome. Because I like that shit.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. But the thing is, it gets into that argument with, like, Star Wars. Like, it's not meant for you. The current run. Or iteration of it. But the thing was like, Star Wars, the original, 4, 5, and 6, was for everybody. Like, anyone could jump on that and enjoy it. But now they're pigeonholing it to, like, you can only like it, or you gotta have this certain framework to enjoy it. And if you don't, then it's not for you.
I don't feel that way. I feel like you could take somebody who's never seen a Star Wars movie and watch those movies, and I just don't think they're good movies in general.
7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
But the thing, so yeah, you can have somebody sit down and watch them, but is it going to resonate with them as well as 4, 5, and 6 did with us and the entire generation before us that was introduced to it?
No, because they're not good.
Right.
For different reasons. Like, Because I was going to say, because you were talking about, like, Batman Lives On, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be different. And we might not like it, but, you know, there's a generation now that's growing up with it, and they're going to take it, and they're going to create stories. And I was going to throw it in your face and be like, well, fucking Star Wars. They can do whatever they want in 7, 8, and 9, or 1, 2, and 3. And that wasn't meant for us because, you know, we had this, but, like, those characters live on for the people who saw them and were awestruck by them. And I'm sure there's fans of 7, 8, and 9 out there. If you strip all the Star Wars label from it, and even, like, some of this Batman stuff or Justice League stuff or whatever, if you take the names of the characters away and just read the stories, some of this shit is garbage. It's just not a good story. And like you said, those things aren't going to resonate. They're not going to stick with people. Or maybe in 20 years, somebody's going to be like, that chainsaw sword was cool. I'm going to do something with that. And that's not the greatest example in the world, but like, going back to Swamp Thing, like, I'm reading, like, these old Swamp Things that are not collected in trades because, quite frankly, they're not great. There was, like, one point I really enjoyed it, and then apparently he wanted Swamp Thing to meet Jesus, which really pissed off Vertigo or DC or whoever, and they're like, yeah, you're not doing that.
It's probably Diamond.
And they cut him from the book, and it was a really weird ending, and now it's, like, going into this thing, and, like, Tefe, Swamp Thing's kid, Swamp Thing and Abby's kid, there's like a whole run with that, and it's interesting. The writing's not great. I really like the art. I like that older art style. It definitely really fits in, like, the saga of Swamp Thing, which is phenomenal. It carries that. It looks cool. It's that older style that I like, and I'm gonna read it because I love Swamp Thing. But reading that and then, like, going, oh, well, that's where What's-His-Nuts got that whole run of Swamp Thing that everybody hates that's just about Tefe. And her coming into her teenage years and finding her powers. Brian K. Vaughan, I believe?
Yeah, Saga of Swamp Thing. No.
Nope. It's not Roots of Swamp Thing. I don't remember what it is, but it's good. It's cool. It's like a whole nother look. Like, Swamp Thing's hardly in it until, like, the end. But, like,
Whatever it is, it's the only one that I own of Swamp Thing.
Clearly, he probably, and this is a good example, probably read that growing up and was like, oh, hey, this is cool. Or went back and read it or whatever. That clearly touched him in a way where he's like, hey, I could do something cool with this. Because, like, she, as a baby, has these powers to, like, slip in and out of the part or into the green, and, like, but she's not, it's not the green though. I don't know. She's like a spirit for a while, like dies, and she's a spirit. They're trying to get her spirit back in this rotting corpse, and, like, there's a bunch of fucked up shit. You find out, you know, reading New 52, the Snyder Run Swamp Thing, they talk about the Gray a lot. The Gray is in here, so that's not like a new concept. But you raise a good point that the good stuff is carrying through. Star Wars clearly didn't do any of that, or they tried to by taking some of the characters, but it seemed more about drawing in the old fans to take their kids to go and see a movie and try to respawn a generation, and I think it just blew up in their face.
Yeah, what's the clickbait thing that you put in movies? Homages?
Yeah.
That's just what they did with it.
Yeah.
But it had more to do with the Star Wars that Disney wanted to not be paying George Lucas for his characters anymore. That's why they started creating all these other ones who are kind of carbon copies of the ideas that those characters represent without having the sustenance to actually fill the viewers' needs.
Which I honestly think could have been done, but they were just trying to make money. And
No, it was so easy. Like, That's what's so confusing. Bless you.
I mean, they could have put a little more effort into it.
Oh, you just got an extra couple of years off of that last sneeze.
They could have put more effort into it rather than just trying to create quick cookie cutters to put out a movie. I mean, as soon as Disney got the rights, they were like, "Yep, they fucking punched
Star
the shit
Wars
out."
movie every year, forever.
Fuck. I mowed the lawn today. I apologize.
Subway sausage pants.
Can you pass me that box of Kleenex? Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
COVID. Bitches.
Cheers.
Take a drink.
Get up in the mic with that. It's gonna be good audio for somebody in the future.
Yeah, they're gonna like do a remix and have like a stick person like blowing their nose and shit. Worker. Anyway. Star Wars. Yeah.
But see, that's why I'm okay with Wicked and Divine, because it's its own independent universe. So it's okay, in my opinion, to say it's not for me. Where if you've got a thing that's already established with a fan base, you only got there because you had the fan base, and then to say like, no, we're just gonna do our own thing. Fuck you.
Okay.
I get it when it's like for a band or something, if you disagree with their choice, or if the Dresden Vase we were talking about, if the Butcher decides to do something like way off kilter and go a completely different direction, yeah, okay, I guess I just don't like that. But when it's something that's kind of a collective thing, and then you just tell your fans that, nah, fuck you, we don't like you, like,
Yeah.
then it dies. That's fine. That's why
mean,
people get pissed about it.
I don't see Batman dying though.
Nah, it'll win. This is where it gets cool, because you don't like the whole concept of mythology with these characters or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you go with like American gods and anything else in that vein, these deities and the Wicked and Divine, these deities get their power through worshippers. And if there aren't a lot of worshippers, that deity doesn't exert as much power in the mortal realm. And some gods, some deities, are more beneficial to humankind than others. So why are these characters not being respected in the same manner by the priests who are communing with them? Priests or priestesses or shamans or shamanesses.
I don't think they're trying to disrespect them. I think they're trying to be creative in a different way. I mean, you know, I like Batman's grave, right? I think it's cool. I'm sure if we went back in history of Batman, we could probably find a story that's similar. Of Batman going around kicking ass, figuring out a mystery. Oh wait, that's all of Batman, right? Like,
Except the new stuff. There isn't really.
Tynion's run is.
I'm saying like, well, Tynion's, yeah, but like Snyder's thing, he's not really trying to solve anything.
New 52? Batman?
No, New 52 was this metal shit. He's not trying
Oh.
to solve anything. It's just
Yeah. I mean, you want to say he's disrespecting Batman? I'm good with that. I agree. No, I don't agree. You're using a character in a different way. Like, I could get all pissed off and be like, what? Swamp Thing's like a fucking burning husk in hell? That's dumb, because I've seen him walk through hell, and he sure as fuck wasn't on fire. He's kicking ass, taking names. I'm not pissed.
I was disappointed by it. I didn't even know it was Swamp Thing until
Well,
they called him out.
My thing is like, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. The Parliament's fucked up. That's what's going on in JLD. And you're like, no, that has nothing to do with anything. And I'm like, wait, what? Like,
Oh, maybe it does. I don't know.
I don't pay attention to that shit because I'm literally just sitting there reading a story. That is why I fucking cut a shit ton of stuff out. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not doing this anymore. If all the tie-ins are that good, I'll wait 6 months and be like, oh, hey, you're saying I should read all these and you're going to if they put out a trade of it that way, clearly it was good. If not, well, then there might be, because they did that with metal. That was something prolific enough that DC's like, whoa, people love this. Whoa, this is good. So much so that they're letting them go and do death metal, which the fucking puns on those pages pissed me off. Like, one, you're calling it death metal. I'm like, well, that's going to be fun to Google. Two, you're going to power chord. Fuck you. Seriously, like, now you're pandering. Like,
Did you read the credits?
No.
Oh.
Should I have?
Don't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't either. I was reading an article about it, and like every credit in there is tied somehow to a metal song.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Because that's what comic fans want. Because maybe half, maybe a quarter will get it. I don't know. I listen to some metal. You're more into metal than me. I'm in this weird like reggae dance hall shit. Like you have
the
no
normal
idea, man.
for the most part.
Huh?
It seems normal-ish.
Is it Damian Marley? Is that the one you're really?
Yeah, but now I'm getting into Stephen Marley and Collie Buds and like basically a bunch of pot smoking music, even though I don't smoke pot anymore. But like, there was one dude.
Heart wants what the heart wants.
I think it was Stephen Marley, and I want to say it was like soul rock. There is like a part where it is like straight reggae, and all of a sudden there is like literally a bass drop, and it is like fucking what's that new shit the kids like?
Dubstep.
Thank you.
But that's not
5 years
that.
ago?
It's longer than that. It's like
Oh, they don't like that anymore?
no,
okay.
they're on the mumble rap. That was at least like that was like 2018. I don't know what it is today.
2020.
The music wise, nah, dubstep's gone.
Mumble
Nah,
rap.
it's mumble rap. I hear people
Migos!
listening to weird stuff when they drive by the hotel. Sounds like hip hop stuff.
Yeah, mumble rap. I enjoy a little bit of mumble rap.
Some of it's okay. I blare punk rock out the window. Side note. Yes.
Punk's dead, man.
Dude, yeah, punk's been dead a long fucking time. And I will say this. Why the fuck did I not listen to the Distillers, like, when I was younger? Like, I cannot get enough of the Distillers right now.
Yeah.
They're fucking awesome. Like, I Pandora that shit. I fucking searched that. I listened to all the ads so I could just listen to the Distillers. Fuck. She's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And, like, the range, like, the growl, the bark, the singing, like, she's fucking talented. All right, back to comics. Sorry.
We can make this a punk rock show, music show.
Oh, fuck,
Weave in
man.
all the things.
I'm like went all the way around the world, and then I came back to punk rock. Like that. The Distillers and Lars Frederiksen and the Bastards, which weren't real, like they were doing stuff when we were into it, but not as heavily as now. Like there's a lot of good shit. They got a song with him and Skinhead Rob, the dude from Transplants, the rapper dude from Transplants.
All right.
So that blew my mind today. And then that dubstep thing, which apparently isn't cool anymore. So don't go listen to that, guys. But
there was some movie that was making a comment about dubstep. and it was already dead.
Wasn't there that mouse? Was it Dead Mouse?
Yeah.
He's still
Mouse was
around.
the big thing.
He's still around.
But EDM's still really big.
Yeah. If you go to raves and stuff.
Electric
Wait,
Daisy
still
can't.
fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electric Daisy Carnival. Like, there's Die Hard. That's just like punk rock. There's still punk rock shows.
In the
Riot
era of
Fest.
COVID in 2020.
They're virtual. You drop your Molly and you go on Facebook Live and you trip out.
Wow.
In your own living room, man.
Wow.
I don't know if you're being facetious or like serious because it sounds like it's possible.
Oh, I guarantee you it's happening. I don't know about the Molly
kind of-
part, but I guarantee you that's happening. Dude, I was just listening to another side note. I listen to a lot of podcasts. They're weird. I listen to the sports podcast. Not the biggest sports guy in the world, but Petros Papadakis and Matt Money Smith on the Petros and Money Show, PMS. Fucking awesome. They're hilarious. I like sports basically just because they talk about it, but there's a lot of other good stuff. And Petros is really into the reggae scene, which is how I kind of started creating these Pandora stations and got back into it. But anyway, he's hosting like what?
Had nothing to do with going to Jamaica.
That had a big thing to do with it too. But before that, I was already looking at that shit. Where is it? Oh, he's hosting like a Facebook Live or YouTube Live or wherever they put up live shit shows. And these bands are playing. G-Love and the Special Sauce is playing. I don't know if he's got his special sauce with him, but G-Love's playing. There's like 4 or 5 other people. I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. There are a lot of people putting on virtual concerts right now.
There are.
Goldfinger's been putting out, like, they're all in different houses playing music, and they like cut to different cameras and they're playing live shows. Like, it's fucking weird. Like,
It seems
this
a
world
nightmare on a technical
Yeah.
standpoint.
Have you watched any live shows?
Yeah, I watched the Goldfinger ones.
Was it good?
How did you
I was
feel about it?
entertained. I think they suck now, but I was entertained. I was like, Goldfinger, love these guys. What the fuck? Where'd the horns go? Where's the in the? I mean, 99 Red Balloons can go take a fucking hike because they're so much better than that.
Oh yeah, I still dig that song.
I'm over that. I'm over 99 Red Balloons. But like,
I just don't hear it anymore.
I just-
I would get excited if I heard it because you don't hear it anymore. You used to hear it a lot, you know.
It's one of those songs that when you start hearing it, you know all the lyrics instantaneously. And you just gotta sing along. And
Yeah.
you remember all the shit.
you know what's
And you're
better
like,
than that? The one at the beginning of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater game.
Yeah,
I don't-
Superman?
Superman. Yes. Way better than 99 Red Balloons.
I can't wait. September 4th.
Everybody calls
Or
him Chuck.
September sometime.
Everybody calls him Chuck. That album's great. All
I
the
agree.
prank calls and shit.
Yeah.
Lot of good shit. And also Suicide Machines. Should have been listening to them the whole time. Again, I had heard them all throughout my life on Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtracks and shit. But Suicide Machines has a deep catalog. Very fucking good. You want some good old-fashioned punk rock?
But music comes in cycles, right?
Yeah,
So,
so it'll
like,
come
punk
back
will
around.
come
Oh
back.
yeah, it'll come
Maybe.
all the way back around.
No, you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be
What?
mumble punk with bass drops and reggae horns. Mer, 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 mer.
Well, that just got weird.
I'm in.
There's a lot of different things going on at one time.
Yeah.
Is that why?
That's great.
Is that why people, as they get older, like get angry at music and they
Yeah.
can't understand it because it's just a mix of everything they had heard, but it's all woven together and they can't like distinguish between the different notes. And they're like,
No, there's been studies like you are more likely like there is a certain point, or they say there's like a certain age for most people where you can like consume new music, and then after that you like shut down and go back to not back to what you first listened to, but like back
It's
to
got
like a
similar
home
notes,
base
yeah.
type thing.
But also, hasn't there been times where you have had like songs that you really like and are really good and whatever, and then come later to find out that they're like excerpts of like some old song you had never heard, or you know,
A
there's
cover.
some like some little lyrical thing that's like a throwback to some song that, you know, I don't know, that's happened to me. Like, and that happens so much. All of this new music is like, I hear things and I'm like, you're trying to do this. Like, this sounds like you're saying the words from that other song. Like,
It's
where
influences.
you're like, I just want to listen to the original one.
Yeah, but some of that too is like, I mean, rap. I mean, they borrow a lot of samples from different songs.
I'm not even talking about rap.
Oh, alright.
Just music in general.
Rap does that. Yes, you're right.
A lot.
Yeah.
I find myself going back to even shit like I used to hear my mom play as a kid, or like songs that I would never ever in a million years listen to, but now I think they're great.
Dude, I would not
Heard 'em
listen
a
to
million times.
anything I listened to as a kid
Oh,
at all.
I
It's like,
do.
it's all Christian gospel.
Oh, yeah.
You're one of them.
Yeah,
That explains a lot.
it works out.
No, yeah. Louisiana Saturday Night.
+1, huh?
What?
Wasn't that one of them big Christian bands? The +1, something one, some. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Are
don't
they
even
playing
know.
down the block from our house?
Probably.
Coming this Sunday.
Oh my God.
+1.
They're not having church anymore. It's all online now. Thank fucking God.
No, I've seen in Kentucky they've got like a platform set out in front of the church. They do that, and it's like a drive-in chapel.
Dude, what's a Christian band? +1, I know what I'm talking about.
I think it's cool.
I believe you. Nobody's doubting you.
What was that one band?
Yes, that one band. Pod?
Pod! Pleasurable on Death, right? How does a pod stand for? Playable on Death? Something on Death. P on Death.
Why don't you Google it? P-O-D. P.O.
Yeah, they
period
were
D.
like low-key Christian, right?
Yep.
No, not even low key.
I think maybe
They were pretty high.
Yep.
Playable on Death. Yep. American Christian New Metal.
Yeah, my parents weren't listening to that shit at all.
No.
No, but that was big. That was big when we were coming up, yeah.
Dude, they had issues with like the W's and
What's the W's?
Five Iron Frenzy,
Yeah, 5 Iron Frenzy, yeah, they were kind of...
because they were skirting that line
Yep.
of like Christianity and mainstream. That's a line you're not supposed to blasphemize. The W's was a swing band.
But
I'd
hold
still
on.
listen to them.
The funniest thing, though, like, that's kind of swinging the line, but you had seen every James Bond movie ever fucking
like,
made. Like, you had
dude,
movies that I'm just like, I don't think I've ever even seen this or am allowed to watch this.
Dude, I was in like, I was like 10. I was 10
Oh,
and I watched
shit.
Speed and Eraser and Titanic. Like, I watched some pretty hardcore movies, and my parents were totally okay with that, but I couldn't
Did you
watch.
say Titanic was a hardcore movie?
There's
There's
nudity.
tits.
My parents are like, all right, you're gonna see something.
I'm pretty
You
sure
can look away if you want to.
I think I watched like Chucky.
Okay, well, your childhood,
movies.
no offense, was a lot different than a lot of people's.
Then when I was like 6, 7 years old.
I wasn't allowed to watch Jurassic Park till like
But
2
I
years
was-
after it came out.
I'm getting context. So, like, I'm allowed to watch
Those movies.
R-rated movies
Hold on.
When you watch Titanic.
whenever it came out.
I think we were like probably
Do you want me
11,
to Google it?
12.
I'll Google it.
Oh, all
You're
right.
probably like 15.
No. Because I remember when that came out.
It was
my
actually
sister went and
yesterday.
saw
That was the first time I saw boobs. I'm still kind of like shaken by it. I don't know. Did you know women have boobs?
I did
They're
not.
like the same as ours,
So
but they're
97, that's 27 years, or 23,
10.
20.
it's 10.
You were 10.
Yeah.
In 87 is what you're saying?
Yeah, 23
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah, we were 10.
I was 8, bitches. When did Chucky come
Okay,
out?
but hold on. Let him finish his shit.
I'm
He
sorry,
was
I don't know
allowed to
what's
watch
happening.
that.
I'm a couple 2-3 claws deep here.
That's fine.
But
Listen,
I couldn't listen to secular music or watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because that was too violent.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
But I
Oh.
could watch Tom and Jerry and the Looney Tunes.
And Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a shit show though.
It
now,
really is.
now watching it, it doesn't hold up.
No.
It was
no.
amazing.
But, like, here's the thing. She turned that on for Kai, and I'm, like, watching this. I'm like,
Oh God.
why the fuck were we allowed to watch this?
Yeah, that's fucked up as shit.
Like, they're literally trying to kill Granny in every fucking episode. Like, you turned it on, I'm like, I used to watch this with JD. Like, that was, like, religion to you. You
Yeah.
fucking watched that all the fucking time. You're like, dude, we gotta watch Courage.
Did you
And
know
I'm
that
like,
show was about,
alright.
like, real folks, though? Like, real people?
yeah. Well, no. The whole premise of it is that Courage doesn't actually live in the middle of the nowhere, but his owners are elderly and they can't take him on walks, so he's stuck inside and has anxiety for every time. So every monster that comes in is just like a guest coming to the house to talk to them, and the dog can't actually understand it.
Oh,
And so he freaks the fuck out,
sure.
and he tries to get rid of them.
Sure.
I know, right? It's crazy.
I just watched it and enjoyed it.
I really loved Invaders.
Did you watch the new movie that came out?
No, I never watched any Invaders in movie ever.
It's on Netflix.
Still?
Yeah.
It's
Netflix
Netflix.
never-
It's a
yeah.
Netflix original.
Oh.
So it should be there forever.
Ever.
Yeah, I should watch it, huh? But that's the, you know, the Johnny Vasquez, the Johnny the homicidal maniac.
Yeah, which we should talk about.
I'm in no rush. I read that once and it made my brain hurt, I'm pretty
You
sure.
never read it, bro.
Sure I have. He gave that to me a long time ago. What are you ing about?
You still have scary dreams.
I'm not worried about scary. I'm pretty sure Constantine is way more fucked up than that shit.
Yeah, it's not really scary. It's just like morbid.
The Warhammer books are fucking gory as hell.
Oh, so I started that.
Don't like it? Alright,
Nah.
fair enough.
I'll get through it, but there's a lot of words that I don't understand because I don't know 40K lore.
Oh, I don't really either. I just find something what it sounds like. Like, they swear a lot, but it's not actual swear words, but then they also use actual swear words.
Well, no, that's not that. It's
Do you
they're
have an
like
example?
no, they're just talking about different houses and like units and stuff and ships, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I don't know.
But
I just
they
go
don't,
with it.
They don't explain
Nope.
anything.
Nope. You just go with it.
No.
Trust me. You just
Okay.
go with it. Like, have they started fighting yet?
Yeah, they did like a short thing. What is it? Gaunt's like Gaunt went on his first mission.
With the
independent
ghosts?
solo thing, but it's like very brief, and he rescues some chick who's telling him about 7 stones
Yep.
that he has to not destroy, set free.
Yep. And their whole
That's-
planet was blown up at this point? The ghosts?
No. I don't
Okay.
think so, but I got a spoiler.
My bad. How deep are you into it?
Not deep, like 2 chapters, 3
Oh,
chapters.
shit.
What?
All right, so a planet gets destroyed,
Here's the thing.
is what they're fighting at. I'm like very confused on what's going on because they start out with, like some guy. He's on a ship, and then another kind of ship comes in, and his psychic pilot thing is going crazy. And he has to do a whole bunch of maneuvers, and then their ship gets blown up. And I have no clue what any of this is like a context to. Just like, oh, there's like a big space battle. Everybody died.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Then we're gonna go on to like this other fight. Like, what was? It didn't have that instantaneous hook. like I've read science, sci-fi. The thing is, I'm maybe not into sci-fi currently at the moment.
Oh, okay.
There's the you might maybe have that too with your brain where you start reading something and you get into that groove, and you just want to get more hits of that. And then you go to something else, and you gotta.
A lot different pace than Dresden.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff that they talk about that you just say, "Okay, got it, understand it, keep going," and you keep it in the back of your head because it might fucking start making sense later. And there's a lot of that. Like where you're at, the whole series, in my opinion, is more about Gaunt and the ghosts. The
I haven't gotten to the ghosts yet.
Yeah, and that's, you just roll with it for a while, and then it'll get there. It'll get there in the first book. You just, like I said.
Yeah, I'm not that deep. It just wasn't hitting the beat that I needed.
No, and that's fair. I really like it. I formed a bond with these characters. I cried when one of them died. A couple, actually. I
mean, you got your mic set up on Warhammer.
Yeah, but I don't read the fluff shit. Like, I have in some aspects, but like these books, like it's not like the literature series. And like maybe they discuss some of those battles in other books. I really couldn't tell you. I read Strachan first, which is just a standalone book about Colonel Strachan. He's got like this bionic arm. He's pretty fucking cool. It's a one-shot standalone book. And then I picked up Gaunt's Ghost because everyone was like, yeah, this is really good. I also really like the Imperial Guard. They're human. I'm like, this will be like a military type book. Like, I like that type of stuff too, battling. And like, it gets good. Like, if you like battles and edge of your seat and that type of stuff, it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I really want like Weird West shit. You know, it's a genre that doesn't really exist.
I mean, are there more Deadlands books out there?
No, there's only the 3.
You could, I don't know if I got the RPG books anymore.
I still got them.
Oh, you could sift through that.
Yeah. No, but like I want to find a Weird West series like the Dresden Files. But most of them are only 3 books long. It seems to be a standard for it. That's why I was kind of hoping that the Warhammer thing would instantaneously like grab me, because I know you got like a stack equivalent to Dresden, if not larger.
Yeah, I think I'm up to 15. There's 15 novels. I got like 4.
Oh, they're same.
Or no, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I haven't read the 13th yet, though, because I got into fucking Dresden, even though the fucking last one... They never leave the books on a cliffhanger.
No?
This one fucking did.
Huh.
Number 12, they're like, mid-battle, something big happens, and you're like, fuck, I told JD I'd read Dresden. Which was worth it.
Well, yeah.
Definitely worth it.
I should have like gotten you on that sooner.
Holy shit.
You want to call it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we had a pretty good... This is pretty good. We discussed a lot of different topics.
Got a little bit non-comic central.
Yeah, I could probably cut a bunch of shit out. That's fine.
2 parts. A-side, B-side.
You always gotta have a B-side. B-roll?
Oh, it would be like...
Just start right before you got here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got like the good stuff and then the weird stuff.
Yeah. We were talking for maybe 15 minutes before you got home.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to...
No, you're good.
Show up.
No, we were outside talking real life stuff.
pretty sure we covered everything we wanted to and more.
Yeah.
And had good conversation. Not slurring yet.
Yeah, the whole maybe not drinking so much is a good idea.
Yeah. So that's what you have to tune into, folks. Folks. Ladies and gentlemen.
Gotta accentuate the L.
Ah, son of a bitch. We're just two toucans with two tall cans who can rant because we got two tall cans.
Woo!
Drunk enough to say it, not too drunk to fuck it up.